Denver 7 On Demand is brought to you by Ferguson and BAC Appliance Center, the best in bath, kitchen, and lighting for your home.
Good Monday morning to you. I'm Molly Hendrickson.
And I'm Nicole Brady. Here's the latest from Denver 7. Police are investigating a deadly shooting near downtown Denver. This happened near the intersection of Park Avenue and Glenarm Place. We don't have a lot of details about what happened, but we know one person was shot and killed there around 2:30 this morning. Police haven't released any information about a potential suspect, but officers told our crew on the scene to be vigilant.
Today, the nation celebrates Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and for the 34th year here in Denver, a parade will be held in honor of the slain civil rights leader. Starting at 10:30 this morning, the parade will move from City Park to Civic Center Park. After the parade, there will be an afternoon program of celebration and remembrance. The public information officer for this event says this year they look forward to seeing 70,000+ people uniting in light.
This year our theme is We Cry Freedom. We are uniting in the light of love because, as Dr. King said, hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that, and darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that.
Martin Luther King Jr. Day is also a day of service for many, and there are plenty of ways you can help. The American Red Cross of Northern Colorado is teaming up with the Greeley Fire Department and the Lauren Project to install smoke detectors in homes. Volunteers will be in the River Park Mobile Court in Greeley today. It's an area that's seen several recent home fires. Volunteers of America will provide meals at its 34th annual Dinner for Those Who Hunger. The event not only provides a hot meal to families in need, but volunteers will be handing out warm clothing as well. The dinner is happening at the Sunset Park Senior Center on Larimer Street in Denver from 3 to 5 this afternoon. And there are plenty of other service projects happening across Colorado today. You can find the ones happening in your neighborhood by going to nationalservice.gov.
We'll likely know by the end of tomorrow whether teachers at Denver public schools will go on strike. The union is holding a second voting session for teachers to support or oppose a strike. That's happening tomorrow night at the Knights of Columbus on Grant Street from 4:30 to 9 p.m. When negotiations ended on Friday, the two sides, the district and the union, were still $8.5 million apart on teacher compensation. However, Superintendent Susanna Cordova says she is willing to continue negotiating. The earliest a strike could begin under state law is next Monday. If teachers vote to strike, it would be the first for DPS since 1994. And teachers aren't the only staff members at DPS who could go on strike. Nurses at DPS schools are union members who are covered under the same contract as teachers. DPS employs around 100 nurses who are trained to manage everything from chronic illnesses to first aid for playground injuries.
Teachers and nurses and anybody else under that contract have the option to strike or not to strike, and they're all going to have to make that decision for themselves. If they do choose to strike, we will work to make sure students' health needs in all our buildings are covered.
The district says it has a contingency plan to address any shortages from striking nurses. They would bring in outside nurses to fill the void.
There are still unanswered questions about a shooting that killed an off-duty Adams County deputy following a high-speed chase. Deputy Jesse Jensen was shot and killed by a LaSalle police officer last week. We're still working with Greeley Police to figure out what exactly led that officer to shoot Deputy Jensen and why it was not prevented. Donations are pouring in right now for the family of Deputy Jensen. You can count on Denver 7 to stay on top of this story and get answers.
A Denver man allegedly making threats on Facebook to kill as many women as he could find is now behind bars and waiting to be brought back to Colorado. Police in Provo, Utah said they arrested Christopher Cleary after he posted on Facebook that he would become the next mass shooter because he's sick of being rejected by women. He said he would kill as many girls as he could see, which made police particularly worried ahead of the women's marches happening on Saturday. Documents show Cleary admitted to making the threats, but he said he wasn't thinking clearly. Cleary was on probation out of Jefferson County when he was arrested for stalking and threatening women.
A local doctor is urging the state legislature to regulate stem cell treatments in our state in light of a Contact 7 investigation. Contact 7 investigators uncovered sales pitches presented by people who work for local chiropractors. Stem cell treatments are not regulated by the FDA and not covered by insurance, but they are advertised to treat orthopedic issues, even Alzheimer's disease. A local doctor is urging state legislatures to help put an end to that.
I welcome good competition. Physicians who become knowledgeable in this area trying to do good work. What I don't welcome is the bait and switch scams, and it's actually my concern that those bait and switch scams are going to destroy the entire industry, even for physicians who are trying to do good work.
Dr. Chris Centeno is pushing for a bill similar to one introduced in Florida last year. It would add new rules for companies and individuals selling stem cell treatments.
A week from today is the annual homeless point-in-time count in Denver. The survey will give us a better idea of how the local homeless population is changing. The group behind the survey is still looking for volunteers.
We should volunteer because if people aren't counted, we don't know that they need supports. Everyone in our community counts. It's our job to take care of the most vulnerable, and we need to have an accurate number of everyone who is without a home so that we can create programs to support them.
Last year's count found more than 5,000 homeless people in Denver. 25% of them were living outside of shelters. We have information to volunteer for the count on our Denver 7 app.
Tomorrow, Boulder County officials will discuss how to better prepare their waterways and transportation systems in light of the devastating floods of 2013. The images from those floods are still so fresh in the minds of so many people in our state. Tomorrow, county officials have created a survey for residents to outline both short and long-term solutions to flooding issues. You can weigh in on the plan during an open house at the St. Vrain Community Hub in Longmont tomorrow night at 6.
And tomorrow, parents of students at Aurora Hills Middle School can get an update about a tuberculosis scare that put about 200 students and staff at risk. We first told you about the scare last week. The health department is investigating the potential source of the exposure. Parents can get updates from the health department during a town hall meeting tomorrow night at 6 p.m. at Aurora Hills Middle. And also tomorrow, we'll get updated numbers from the state health department on how much the flu has spread in our state. Last week's update was a sad one, with the first child flu death reported in our state this season. The state does not record the number of adult deaths associated with the flu in real time, or they don't report them. As of last week, there were close to 1,200 hospitalizations recorded as a result of the flu.
Well, stories like this next one are almost just too perfect to be true. A Denver man who crashed his car into Cherry Creek over the weekend got rescued by two people he's quite familiar with.
Austin Ford was driving at around 2 a.m. Saturday morning when his car was hit by a driver, sending it into the creek. Two other men in another vehicle saw it happen and raced over to help. Only when they pulled Ford from the vehicle did they discover it was their friend of 15 years in that car.
In a city of thousands of people, at a weird hour at night, the two people that end up saving me are friends that I've known for years.
Now on Sunday, Ford went back to the scene of the crash to take pictures for his insurance company. And wouldn't you know it, Josh and Weston, the friends who saved him, just happened to be there.
Guess they're his little guardian angels.
Yes.
From the First Alert Weather Center, here's meteorologist Stacey Donaldson with a look at your forecast.
It is a First Alert Action Day. We're expecting temperatures to get into the 50s this afternoon, and then a cold front later on tonight. That will bring rain and snow along with colder air into the front range. So highs tomorrow only in the low 30s. The snow will continue tonight into early tomorrow, so it'll be a slick commute tomorrow morning and cold throughout the day. We do recover out of that on Wednesday, 43 degrees for a high, and then another cold front with a chance for snow on Thursday. After that, 40s and 50s for highs as we head through the end of the week and next weekend.
All right, thanks, Stacey.
If you didn't get a chance to catch the rare super blood wolf moon last night, don't worry, some Denver 7 viewers got amazing pictures of it.
Yeah, Denver 7 viewers Robert Pritchard, Kimmy Randall, and Mary Reagan sent us these pictures. This full moon was considered super because the moon was at its closest point to Earth in orbit.
So those of you who stayed up late enough for the eclipse got to see this red brick color that the moon took on. If you have any pictures of the super blood wolf moon, post them to the Denver 7 Facebook page. We love to see them.
And this has been your Denver 7 On Demand update. Thanks for joining us.
Check back here later today for another update and download the Denver 7 app for breaking news and alerts. And have a good day.